Hello! In this video I will be showing you the BuWizz 2.0 as a control system for LEGO trains. BuWizz sell two different versions. There's the 2.0, which is the one we have here, and they also have the 3.0, which is a slightly updated model. Instead of the 4 power functions ports you see on this one, it has 4 powered up ports and 2 extra power functions ports. It also has a slightly bigger battery and it has more continuous power output. The 2.0 costs €149 plus tax, or $179. The 3.0 costs €199 plus tax, or $239. Compared to the LEGO Power Functions, this unit is quite a bit smaller. The actual footprint is the same, but the Power Functions battery box is a lot taller than this one. Since the BuWizz is controlled via Bluetooth, there's also no need to add the infrared receiver that you need for a power function setup. So it is a bit easier to squeeze into those tight models where you don't have a lot of space. From the outside the unit is quite basic. It has your basic stud connections on the bottom, as well as a few studs on the top. There is 4 power functions connectors. There are some Technic holes on the sides, a micro USB port for charging, a power button and a little power indicator. Installing the unit is just like any other power functions or powered up hub. You put it into your model and then you hook up the power cables. The BuWizz is controlled from your smartphone using an app and connected via Bluetooth. The app is relatively simple to use and has a few built-in profiles for different sets, but for this demonstration I'm going to be showing you how to create a new profile from scratch. Once you click the new profile button, you can start customizing your control layout. From here you can add all sorts of elements by holding down the one you want and placing it anywhere on your control canvas. For now I'm just going to add a vertical slider and the speed button. Once you're happy with your control layout, you can start connecting your BuWizz. At this point you'll want to turn on your unit, and it should appear here in the list of available devices. Once you've connected it, you'll be shown this configuration screen, where you can link different control inputs to the hardware outputs of the unit. In my case I have 2 train motors connected to port 3 and 4. I'd like those train motors to be connected to the same slider, so once I click on port 3, I will select the slider that I want to control it and click the check mark. I'll do the same for port 4. A slight complication in my model is that one of the train motors is pointing forwards and the other is pointing backwards, so I will need to invert one of the controls like this. This basic setup is enough to get you running, but there are lots of other things you can customize, like the power curves for each slider. There's a lot of stuff in here if you want to mess with it. So once you're happy with your configuration, you can go back to the main menu and press Drive. From here the app works like any other Bluetooth controller you might be used to. You move the slider up and down to make the train go faster and slower. The blue widget on the right here changes the power output mode for the BuWizz. This is a nice feature that lets you change the output voltage from 5 volts for slow mode all the way up to 12 volts for ludicrous mode. One of the big downsides of the app, in my opinion, is that there is no slider that will keep your train moving once you let go of the controls, but also allow your train to go backwards. The slider on the left will stay where I put it, so if I let go, it stays there, it doesn't automatically return to 0, but it doesn't go backwards. The slider on the right does allow me to go both forwards and backwards, but once I let go of it, it automatically springs back to 0, which is annoying when you're at a show, for example, and you want your train to keep going round and round for a while, without constantly having to hold down the slider on your phone. I wish there was a slider like this one that doesn't automatically return to center once you let go of it. At the recent Noppebaner L-Gauge meeting in Borstad, I had a chance to test out the BuWizz at an exhibition. Apart from the caveat of not being able to set and forget the throttle in the app, the unit performed very well. It had more than enough power to pull my quite heavy train around the layout, and the battery lasted surprisingly long. I haven't had to recharge the battery the entire weekend, even though the train did quite a few laps of the whole layout. I even had some fun playing around with ludicrous mode. Just remember to slow down for the curves when you do. Overall, I'm very happy with this unit. The price is a little bit on the steep side at first glance, especially when you compare it to the standard powered up hubs from LEGO, but the BuWizz has so many more useful features that it is worth it in my opinion. In the past I've experimented with creating my own control systems, using Arduino boards and separate motor controllers, voltage regulators and lithium polymer batteries. But honestly, once you add up the cost of all those components, it's getting close to the price of a BuWizz. And with the BuWizz being so much simpler to set up, I think I'm going to be using a BuWizz from now on to power most of my future train creations. If you're interested in buying your own BuWizz, I'll put a link to their website in the description. Also, if you want to see more shots of the L-Gauge train meeting in Warstad, I'll put a card at the end of this video. Thanks for watching!